words for some of our brothers and sisters in the occupied zone. The chair is against the walls. The chair is against the walls. John has a long mustache. John has a long mustache. It's 12 o'clock, Americans, another day closer to victory. And for all of you out there on or behind the lines, this is your song.
And welcome everybody to our daily gun show. We come to you live every day at midnight Eastern. It's 9 p.m. Pacific for about an hour each night. We do 3 gun-related topics each day, different topics throughout the week, and we run it live on YouTube. We simulcast it over at gunchannels.com. We're watching the live comments from the people that join us live. We take the audio from the best shows and post it on iTunes as a podcast. So we do appreciate everybody that listens to the show now and in the future. Takes that extra effort to leave us some comments, to subscribe to our channels on the various platforms, and to give us thumbs up or likes. All those actions, all those interactions with the platforms allow us, the human beings, to know you're out there. So we do appreciate that. But it also, on the other side, it lets the computers and robots know that there's interest in these shows. So hopefully they get them recommended to more listeners, and that's one of our goals. So we do appreciate people that take the time to give us this favor. So we've got hosts. Bob's joining in from Canada. Thanks for joining.
Hey, glad to be here.
Ooh, I got my volume up. And then we got Jimmy joining in from Phoenix.
Hey now.
And
good to be here.
Back down. I'm down here in Tucson. And of course, we got people from all over the country and maybe even other countries. If we still got a shooter in here, or bullseye shooter in here. So today is what? Wednesday? No, Thursday. So that means we're talking CCW. It's episode 469. We'll be talking CCW. Do we underestimate the power of calibers? We're talking about gun stuff, gifts under $10. And then for training, we're going to talk about how many rounds a month it takes to stay proficient. But before we dig in, we usually take a break at the beginning of the show to see if there's anything worth talking about, anything happened overnight or in the earlier shows this evening.
Yankees lost his chunk, but
did you watch Yankees solo chat tonight?
A little bit, and then just kind of went, oh, for fuck's sakes. Yeah, I just get frustrated with him.
Seems like he's on a crusade sometimes, and I'm not sure if I understand why, but yeah, definitely had an interesting show again, and did his gun giveaway at the end of it. That was interesting.
Yeah, it's nice if you can give away guns. But I mean, truly, it's like, I don't know, rebel without a clue. Yankees being Yankee.
Speaking of rebel without a clue, Clover just had his chat. Just ended. That's why we're a little bit late tonight. But I appreciate people that are, what's the word?
Productive?
No, that are, what the heck is the word? Accommodating to us being flexible. I guess being flexible with us when we move the show around a little bit.
Yeah.
All right. Well, so looks like we've got a bunch of people out on the gun channel side or on the YouTube side commenting a bunch. Appreciate that. And over on the gun channel side as well. We're also simulcasting over on the Instagram. So welcome everybody that's watching over there. Feel free to comment. We do things on the show to exercise this thing called new media. So we're not just taking a radio show and plopping it on the internet. We just didn't take a magazine article and slap it online. We're trying to use these interactive comments and the idea of taking ideas from one show and following up on it on another, or continuing the conversation in other formats. So we have these topics. Feel free to grab them and use them as conversations in real life or as ideas for your own content out there. So we'll get into CCW, and do we underestimate the power of calibers? I don't think people underestimate. I find more people overestimate the power of their caliber.
Yeah, I was going to say, I see the opposite going on.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so I guess we're kind of starting.
That's how fast we take care of topics on this show.
Yeah. Well, it's solved in the same way as it's like, well, now we've taken it a different way. Like, why do people overestimate, their calibers and what a difference it makes?
Well, but we're saying, do people underestimate the power of their caliber? So is it possible? What would be the idea there? Do they underestimate? I guess we'll just go left right. Do people underestimate the power of calibers? Bob?
Yes.
Jimmy?
I've met a few people that may underestimate calibers.
I'm going to say no, because I really do think it's overestimate. Because I'm trying to think what underestimate, like what they think, 45 is underestimate. Like they think that.
Like you're carrying a 380. What are you going to do with that thing? You got a 22 for self-defense. What are you going to, that ain't going to do nothing to nobody.
I guess I see what you're saying. If you look at the sub 38s, then yeah, people are going to underestimate. I mean, look how long 25s have been created. If they were seriously anemic and had no purpose, I think they would have died out like all the other calibers that were birthless, right?
Well, they did work. I mean, really, a lot of people have been killed with them. You just got to poke the right spot.
That's what I'm saying. It'll still put a hole in you.
I mean, there's Europeans. They get knocked down with looking at them funny.
The gangsters all used to love the 32. That was their favorite little pocket gun.
Was that a factor of the ammunition being so great, or just because back in the day, 32s were physically the smallest guns you could get your hands on?
And I think they get what they got.
Yeah, you get 25s and 22s back then, but the 32 was a little bit bigger. But you got to also remember they were using like just a round lead bullet in most cases, or maybe jacketed. But yeah,
we're talking small calibers though. Pretty much the consensus is stick with ball, because you're losing the map. It's not going to be all that much more efficient with a hollow.
Because the whole point with a bullet is not to make an impressive looking wound channel; it's to poke the hole in the right spot. That's really what it comes down to. That's what's going to drop them. It looks impressive. You tear a whole bunch of meat out, but if it doesn't go very deep, they're still going to be moving.
No, you shoot them in the chest and it doesn't break the rib cage. What are you really doing?
Yep. And those little solid points, man, those little full metal jackets, they'll hit maybe a hip bone and they'll bounce all over and come top or get stuck in their brain. Like they don't stop moving. They just change direction.
One of the Travis Collective says 17 gets no love. I'm guessing he means 17 HMR, because 17 Mach 2 definitely gets no love.
Well, even 17 HMR is like, yeah, you think about the velocity that bullet's moving and everything. Like if it hits in the right spot, it's going through whatever it hits.
That's what I'm saying. Them are some devastating little varmint rounds.
Oh yeah. I've seen gel tests where they took a human skull and stuff, and yeah, you don't want to know what happens when because it goes through the skull.
Well, them things are moving so fast, it just drills right through it.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to say that 17 is going to get no love because it's rimfire.
Yeah. Your favorite round is 22 short.
I like 22 short out of a revolver and out of a Derringer, yes, and maybe out of a lever action, but out of a semi-auto, like maybe the Beretta, no, not so much. There's been some other semi-autos, but anyway, rimfires tend to get rim lock, where they just physically lock up in the mag, so you have feed issues potentially, and then
load them right.
Well, you can keep saying that all you want, but in a real life situation, you get scuffled around, you find out you're in a gunfight because you've been knocked down or something, you don't get to go restack your mag. But then the other thing is I'm assuming the 22 HMR or 17 HMR is going to have the same issues as 22 mag potentially, trying to cycle along thing, and then the rimfire itself is just less.
17 HMR tends to work better, I think, because it's got a pointed bullet.
I agree that it would be less often, but still, just you've got a longer cartridge, so the action has to move more. There has to be enough power, to cycle it. Where with the shorter ones, there's just less movement needed. But anyway, and then mainly though the rimfire is my issue with the rim lock, and then just being less dependable than centerfire.
Mm.
Midnight Range is saying 30-30. one of the other Chav Collective is saying 30-30 gets underestimated.
Yes,
And
by hunters,
they,
huh?
they make some decent modern rounds for it, but you got to be careful using them in the older guns. Some of them can't take it.
Not if it's a quality gun. I mean, I know people with like Winchesters built in the 30s, and they shoot modern rounds out of them all the time. But they don't get stupid rounds. They buy the same 150 round nose hunting rounds they always been buying. You know.
And my issues with the rim fires are negated by putting it in a revolver. Back then, if you have an issue, you just keep pulling the trigger and eventually it shoots. Probably.
That's true. That's why I've always wanted one of those little 9-shot H&R revolvers, I think they are. I always thought that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah. Well, anything over 8 is awesome.
Yeah. And especially, well, they're top break too. And I like that idea because it just like dumps all those rounds for you. Because
what? Who makes it? Oh, I thought you said Ruger.
No, H&R, I think.
Okay.
I wouldn't buy a new gun if I could buy an old one that did the same job.
Well, I think we're done at underestimating calibers. So
yes.
Let's move on to the next topic, which will be gun stuff. We're going to talk about gun gifts under $10. That's all anybody thinks about for the holidays is what they can buy. So before we do, I'd like to take a break between the first and second segment of the show each day. Feature one of the members over on Gun Channels. Gun Channels is a place we built. It's a community. It's focused on firearms. It's 4 years old now, and completely run by its members. And with that in mind, we like to feature a member each day. And today we're featuring a member called Recon. So I don't think any of y'all know who I'm talking about unless you've heard me reminisce about the good old days. So back when we started gun websites, when I quit Microsoft back in like 2004 and decided to just do web stuff full time, there were forums. That was all there was back then. This was not soon after AOL was losing its luster and people were figuring out they could go on the internet themselves. There were message boards from the olden days still. Those were like Reddit, right? Those were pretty difficult to navigate and understand the culture of. So there was forums, and they were still difficult to navigate and understand the culture of. And most of the cultures of gun forums were horrible, just difficult, angry, petty people that were mean to each other. And it was just difficult to get any useful information. And the people that did have valid information would either get frustrated and leave or just not bother. So there was frustration. So there were the big ones. If you guys remember, AR15.com was a big, or something, AR15 something was the big AR forum, and then a couple of others. And there had been some offshoots, I guess, where people left the big forums to go start other sub forums, I guess you'd call them, or lesser forums. And some of those were huge. Most of those were either around a topic, like Glock Talk or something, or about a region, like, a state or a area. So those forums also turned into little mini versions of the big forums and got all the same problems as the others. So with the frustration out of all of that, and having our strategy at the time, our business strategy was to have a lot of websites to help our clients out. And we got quite a few questions from all those websites. And instead of trying to keep individual conversations going on all those websites, instead we pulled them all to one forum. And that's where we get to the point of this story. We had a place called Gun Chat, and I bought gunchat.net a long time ago, and we put a little forum software on there, and we created a forum. And it was the thing that keeps me going to this day, is remembering those days and the evolution of those days. So gunchat.net was the forum, and it was my first experience with out of the box forum, let's say, like freeware stuff. And it was okay. I think we had about 400 members, and then eventually the software I chose had a lifespan and it died. So we needed to put a new set of software under there. And when we did, we lost all those members pretty much. And then got a new set of members. And I think one of the few members that actually went through the transition was this guy called Glenn, or Recon, out of California. And at the time, this was 2005, 6, something like that. He was a young kid just getting into guns. And I think we can pull parallels with a lot of people we've seen on, join gun channels or YouTube community over the years as youngins get into it, explore, learn, and some of them kept with it, and that's definitely recon. So he was a young kid, and he came in and was asking a lot of good questions and kept the conversation going in a lot of ways. Eventually, he became fairly knowledgeable. He learned a lot of stuff, started getting some experience going out shooting and whatnot, and just been a good friend ever since. So he's on the Instagrams now. Forget what he calls himself on the Instagrams, but he'll always be recon to me. And yeah, it was just kind of neat. I figured I'd put some of the old people in there from back in the days. Like I say, those are the people that got me into it. If those people wouldn't have been around back in those days, I would have never had the ambition to keep building stuff and remember that there are good people out there that have good conversations. And then I built something like Gun Channels later on and found, dozens and dozens of people like Raycon that are good people that get together and just have good conversations and, with all the good intent. So that's our member of the day.
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
All right, so now we'll talk about gun stuff. Gifts under $10.
Does that exist? Or maybe a couple boxes of 22?
Couple?
I find $5 stuff all the time for the Gun Show Loophole Tour, right? Doing the Gun Show and Gun Shop stuff for the Patreon perks. I'm looking for stuff under $5 all the time, or under $10. Sorry. So first thing I can think of is a couple of things out of the perks. That gun, or what do you call it, an ammo can lock. And I've seen some others. There's a couple of different ways people have come up with to lock ammo cans, and ammo cans are inexpensive. So that gives you a quick lockbox for the trunk or even a back of a truck or something.
I just weld a hasp on it.
Yeah, well, that's good.
Yeah, I guess you'd have to seek out like
one of the Travis Collective is saying cool stickers for your safe or range box.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to think of all other stuff. I don't know why I'm drawing a blank. I'm thinking about just like accessories.
Some of those multi-tools, they're really like screwdriver heavy. You can usually pick them up, and there'd be something somebody could throw in a range bag that would be kind of handy.
I disagree.
Little speed loaders, ain't it? They're like around $10. You got a little revolver or something.
That might be a thing, depending if you know exactly the type of revolver you're getting for somebody, or that they have, and you're getting it for them.
Yeah,
that's kind of handy. Can't have enough speed loaders. Or it doesn't matter what round they carry, really having those speed strips, those rubber ones that hold them in a line.
Yeah, if you know they got a 357, that speed strip is good for anything. So.
Seriously, anything really. Even if you're carrying around 45 ACP or 40s or 9s, you just put them in there, and it keeps them organized and available in like a bag or a pouch or something. So they're great for ammo. Put 10 of them in your bag and keep hollow points in it, and then that way, how many times you've gone to the range and you're like trying to shuffle mags so you don't shoot out your hollow points or something, and then before you know it, crap, you shot all your mag of carry ammo. Having a thing to replenish your carry ammo for the ride home, that could be handy. It goes, what do you call them? Like a gun, what do you call those books? Like a, not a journal, what do they call them? Where you keep track of your rounds and your cleanings and replacement parts and stuff.
Like a memo pad or something like that?
There's maintenance logs. You can get some of those for under $10. And that's the kind of thing that a lot of people won't buy for themselves, and then you buy it for them. They're either going to throw it in a pile or re-gift it. But if they do use it, they end up figuring out how useful those things are. And those things are super useful. If you've got a pile of guns, when you've got like 6 or 10, I don't know, at some point you lose track of what's going on. And that's super handy to be able to dig in there and go, oh yeah, that's when I replaced that part. Or, which one of these 2 shotguns, all of a sudden you got 2 shotguns that are identical, except that one of them has a bad thing and you forget which one. Sometimes you can just, keep track of it through serial number or whatever of anyway, so those things can be kind of handy, and not everybody, in fact, very rarely do I meet people that buy those for themselves.
Hey, what about a gun sock? Right?
I guess so. It's kind of boring. All these
Yeah,
things
it's
that
not boring, but yeah.
Well, under
$10
$10 is going to be pretty boring, you know.
Yeah. Really.
How about targets? Just different targets or something fun, like one of those game targets.
Talked about this once already?
Huh?
I feel like we've talked about targets before as a gift.
I think we talked about gifts under 20.
Oh.
Or gifts over 20 or not, something like that.
Well, I mean, they got like neat little cheap paper targets, them like zombie ones, and I seen like a zombie rat one, and they got, I don't know, they're kind of weird looking, cool ones, a werewolf one and stuff.
I guess the thing to be aware of with the fun ones is that some NRA ranges won't let you have like fingers or eyes or
Yeah,
clowns.
It's got to be a silhouette.
Potatoes is saying the REM oil wipes, those things that look like hand wipes or whatever, that look like a folded up napkin in a little mustard container.
Oh yeah, well if you go that route, I mean you can get a small bottle of, what is it, a 8-ounce bottle or something, of hops or something like that. Not even 5 ounce.
I was thinking specifically them oil wipes. I bought those one time off of like back before the internet, when you buy stuff out of catalogs. You get those catalogs in the mail, and then either they'd have free shipping if it got to so much money or something, I forget, or maybe it was like if you buy $25 you get something for free. I remember one time I was buying something though, and I wouldn't have normally bought those REM oil wipe little pouches or whatever. And maybe he's not even talking about the pouches, but maybe I'm just thinking of the pouches. But I'm talking about, they're almost like single serve. Once you take my little package, they dry out, so you can wipe a bunch of stuff. They'll either get filthy or they'll dry out. But and like I say, I don't like to buy single serve stuff normally. I don't see the point. Kind of wasteful, but I needed to fill the order or something. So anyway, it was like $2 or something for 100 of them or something crazy. I ended up buying them, and like I say, it was like 100. It's a giant baggie of them. I've still got them, and they're crazy useful. So it's one of those things that, I don't know, I would recommend it if you can, if you know enough people, buy a kit of them and give everybody a couple of them or something. Because it's not something, if you're not going to use them, then it's just wasteful, I guess. But if gifts are supposed to be something you don't normally buy yourself, right? That might be the kind of thing people don't.
Yeah, it could turn into one of the things you'll never use until someone gets it for you, and then you find out it's great and love it.
Exactly.
Potatoes was saying too. He said AR-15 mags, but I'm assuming the GI mags, because I don't think the Magpul, the P mags, are that cheap.
Yeah, they're like $11. What are you talking about?
Are they? I was seeing them for like $14, $12, something like that.
Wait, we're saying $10. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean the GI mags, though, I've seen them for like $7.
Well, Travis Collective is saying, yeah, $1 to Patreon for 10 months.
Perfect gun gift. I can't think of, well, those like soft rifle cases, but I don't know if I would really. I guess it's the thought that counts. If someone gets you a gift like that, like I don't know, you could always use an extra case, I guess. But.
Yeah, those soft ones are so cheesy, though. It's like
yeah, I know.
Yeah, it's like 1970s. I always remember my dad and all his buddies. They'd have those cases. They'd usually be leather or something, and they'd throw their guns in them, and then they'd throw all their guns in the back of this pickup truck, in the snow, and off they'd go.
Yeah. Fold this thing up and kick it in my box of holsters and never use it again. I don't know.
Yeah.
But like I said, I mean, if you're talking about a gift, I guess it's the thought that counts, but kind of a crappy gift.
How about a weird piece of ammo, like a odd collectible piece of ammo, or like a giant buffalo round or something, or wildebeest round, one of those African rounds? Those things are kind of neat.
Yeah, that'd be cool. But I mean,
if they were like into Africa or into the Arctic, you could I
don't know. I bought one time at a gun show. I was just looking for stuff. I had money burning a hole in my pocket, and I bought one just because it's so damn big. It just looks neat. It's like a 50, but not shorter than a 50, but big round bullet on it. It's kind of, I don't think you have to be into Africa, in other words. I think it's just neat. It's just like having a little tiny bullet. It's just neat to see such a giant bullet.
Like having a little almost artillery round.
Yeah, except think about it, goes out of a rifle. And that's the other thing, ordnance. That's the kind of thing people don't necessarily buy themselves. And it's kind of neat to have it sitting on a shelf or a desk or something. Yeah.
Although some people might wonder, here, hand them a grenade. I bought that for you. You're like,
Pink is saying that Wally World had a 3-pack of flashlights, or has a 3-pack of flashlights right now that look like shotgun shells.
yeah, I've seen those.
How many lumens do those things have?
12 or 20
Not.
when you buy.
Yeah. It's funny, the smaller one has a higher.
The one with 410 works on a AAA battery, though, so that's weird.
Really? That's interesting.
Mike is saying a block of dry ice to shoot. That's interesting. I've never shot a block of dry ice. That would probably be pretty interesting. Wonder if you shot a block of dry ice with a tracer, what would happen?
It'd break.
Potatoes the same with the 50 BMG bottle openers.
Yeah. Those are kind of neat.
The bottle opener anymore, though, really. Like,
yeah. I learned the lighter trick when I was in like high school.
Yeah, well, I've been using my buck knife or whatever carry knife I had, using the back of the blade on that for.
You guys drink more beers than I do. Aren't most of them twist off, though?
Oh, yeah, but look if you pull your knife out to open it. Well, they are now. They never used to be. Like, the twist offs have only been since the 90s, I think. Maybe 80s.
He's not in there now. He went to sleep earlier, but Cycle Camp bought me this, I think made by Winchester, or some brand, it's branded some rifle company, maybe Remington, but I think Winchester. Anyway, it's a AAA battery light, and the light part of it, the LED part of it, is on a little tiny flexible, what do they call that? Kind of flexible goose head, what do they call that? Metal flexible thing where you bend it and it stays.
Like a thing you would like see up the bore or something like that?
I guess it's basically just a little tiny battery compartment, and then this little flexible thing, and then the LED light, and it happens to have a laser on it too, a little magnetic thing, so it's fairly useful. But I think that was under $10 at a gun show, and it's actually super useful. I've been using it I put it on the visor of the van so that it's like a little focused spotlight, or what do you call it, like task light, so it can just poke straight down at, point it at whatever I need to in the van or whatever. But he uses it because it's got a little magnet on it. You can just set it on the muzzle of a gun, point the little flexible thing right back down. And if you got a long enough gun that you can't reach the other end to see down it with the light, you got that. Anyway, kind of a neat little gizmo.
Yeah, I like them things.
It's a Remington bore light with laser things.
Yeah, I got one of those, but it's a no name. But funniest part is my dog chases lasers. I want to see a 160-pound dog run around the slippery living room floor, chase a laser. Freaking hilarious.
He's 160 pounds. I feel bad for that dog. He was like 100 and something last time we heard.
Yeah, he's gained a little weight.
One of the Travis Collective is saying a cheap headlamp. That's a good idea. There are some inexpensive ones. I think we talked about those in the tool chat or the van chat. I don't know, $10, maybe $20. Like I say, I think I'd go the brand name that's decent, but headlamp is one of those things people don't necessarily buy themselves, and then once they've figured out headlamps, how awesome they are, they use it.
Buy them one, they'll end up with a rack of them.
Oh, Gary's saying those microfiber towels. Have you guys ever used one?
Those are awesome. Yeah, they pick up grease, the excess oil. They pick up little lint and stuff like. Those are awesome. Yeah, a pack of those would be great. That would make my day.
I am super cheap, so I'm always like, I'm not buying those. And then I realize you can get them 5 for $1 at the dollar store. So I'm like, oh, okay, I'll give these things a try. Yeah, they're like magic. They're freaking neat. Yeah, I really like them.
Yeah, and to get new ones, that'd be awesome.
And those are $1. You can get them at the dollar store 5 for $1. So definitely under $10. And when you know they're cheap like that, you don't have any problem sacrificing them, wiping something totally gross and just throwing them away. Even though you can wash them and keep using them if you don't get them too gross.
Yeah, they're not so fantastic on trying to take off Cosmoline. But
oh, no, they're more delicate than that. But just
yeah. but other than that, they're fantastic.
All right. Well, I'm thinking there's probably lots of things we could talk about, but we want to spend way more of your money than that. So we'll talk about more money at some other time.
Or you could go spend it at the Gun Channel store too.
There you go. There's all kinds of for $10 over there. But you don't want to spend 10. You want to spend more like 100 or even 1,000.
Yeah.
If you spend $1,000, you'll get a free patch. So it's totally worth it.
Might even be exclusive.
No, I'm not going. That's not promising.
Crazy.
All right. So I think we should move along into one of our new things. So, you know what? We don't have a gun shop of the day. What are we going to do for a gun shop today?
Don't know. Don't we have a museum or something we can do?
We probably have tons. So why don't we let the audience out there come up with something for our gun shop of the day? Maybe best of or something if you want to re-look at something, or if you've got a link to one, throw it to us. Until then, we'll talk about the movie of the day. So every day we like to talk about a gun-related movie, something you might not have seen in a while, or if you're one of the youngins that watch the show, something you ain't seen yet. So today it's Lonesome Dove, which isn't really a movie as much as a miniseries, right?
I have no clue.
You remember Lonesome Dove?
Never.
It was on CBS in 1989, and it was a 3-part miniseries.
I think so, something like that. But it was 2-hour shows.
Oh, was it Western or something?
Western. Oh yeah, great Western. Had some of the greatest Western actors of that time playing, and some of the other people, but to fill it out. But it was like an epic. Oh, it was great, man. It was about this ranch.
Lonesome Dove was a series of books, right? So a whole bunch of them, weren't they?
Yeah.
And then these were like a mini series that summarized the books or something.
Yeah, it was based on the books, roughly, kind of thing. Yeah.
So I guess as a 1985 best-selling book, and then in 1989 it was adapted into a TV miniseries. I guess after that he wrote other books, so I just got timeline mixed up. I guess Streets of Laredo, Dead Man's Walk, Comanche Moon were later sequels.
Yep. But yeah, just classic Western, and a little too much drama and romance and stuff. But
well, that's the thing. It's a freaking CBS miniseries, so that's why I never watched it when it was on, because my grandma was watching it. It was like a love story miniseries drama thing.
So I seen Lonesome Dove. I'm like, this sounds like a chick flick. I never even heard of this thing before.
Yeah, Lonesome Dove is like the name of the town, I guess. But yeah, picked something with Dove in the title and Lonesome. It just sounds like a drama. But anyway, I watched it after the fact, just a couple of years ago, and it's not bad at all. I mean, it's definitely a drama for TV, but it's in the West, and it's heavy into the Western stuff and the cowboy stuff.
Sounds neat. But now, was it heavy on the love story? Did they push it?
Oh yeah, it's definitely driven by that. So it's the kind of thing, though, that if you want to sit there and watch something with your grandma or your wife, I guess, everybody's going to enjoy it probably. It's got super high ratings, right? Isn't it one of the highest rated things or something like that? All TV shows.
Yeah, I'd definitely give it a two thumbs up. I mean, it had what's his name? I don't know. Just that great Western actor with the big mustache. Been in lots of great parts.
Sam Elliott.
Yeah, Sam Elliott. Yeah.
Tommy Lee Jones, Robert Duvall. It's got everybody. It was a big deal at the time. So everybody who was into being in Westerns was in it.
Yeah, so really, really good actors. And some, kind of cool shootouts and gunplay and stuff like that. So, yeah, it was really good. So, anyway, I'm giving it 2 thumbs up. What about you, G?
1, because it's definitely more drama than cowboy, and most people ain't gonna sit there and want to watch. It's like 6 hours or more altogether.
Well,
So
no, you
it's
watch
good
it in
to watch
little
it.
chunks, right? That's the nice thing about the interweb. You know, you can watch it in 20-minute or half-hour chunks, just like a TV series. But yeah, it's good. It's good. I definitely give it a recommendation. So Jimmy, you haven't seen it. We think you should take a look at it and tell us what it's like.
It's
I'll
good.
maybe do that.
And if it is, I guess I'll give you this. If you like it and you start watching it, it's not like in 2 hours it's over. You're going to have a whole miniseries. So it's almost like watching a season.
Watch it with your significant other, and you know.
Yeah.
It'd be something you can say, "Hey, let's watch a show together," and she'll go, "Oh, it's a western," and they'll go, "Oh, it's a love story."
I think this one especially if it has more stuff because I know you're going to like it.
Yeah. She watches what I want to watch. Otherwise, she reads.
The Daily Gun Show. Save them.
Tips one co-host at a time. There you go.
We'll save your marriage this week, and then next week we'll do gun gifts over $1,000.
Destroy it.
And the next week we'll talk about excuses. Like, no, I already had that gun.
How to lie to your wife.
Ask the guy at the gun shop if he's got an old beat up box to put it in. Take it home.
You have a bag of dust I could use?
So we're getting some recommendations for gun shops out there. So
Right, we'll go with Chris here. Says Rev Arms, whatever, and whatever, because I can take this and copy it and paste it. And then we'll take those others and throw them in for future shows. And then let's see if we can find this one. Yep. So we'll screen capture here. So this is a shop we've never been to. We don't know nothing about it. Looks like it's in Covington, Washington. We call that Rev Arms figure. Is it a shop or an online store?
Some of them like hole in the wall joints. Those are kind of cool.
Interesting website. Lots of stuff going on. Premier FFL specializing in ARs, bolt guns, and handguns. Wide variety from Noveski to Mega Arms. As an SOT, we stock silencers from all these places. Looking for like pictures of the shop or something, don't see it. So I'm going to go use the internets. This says it has 11 photos and 10 reviews on the Yelp. There we go. Fisheye view of the place.
Oh, nice. Seem to have plenty of stock.
Yeah, there's
nice
a place
options.
in Phoenix that's kind of looks like this one. Oh, that's nice. Big concrete chunks in front. Smart. Like they do a bunch of custom ARs. Look at this. It's in Washington State, so they got to have this thing in here. Federal law prohibits controlled substances on these premises. Like, keep your drugs outside, you hippies. Put out your joints before you walk in here. Do you have any guns that I can use as a bong?
Can I smoke out of this, bro?
Like, that'd be a good topic for Matt's top 5. Top 5 guns to be used as a bong. Because an AR upside down is probably like a big bong pipe. Put all your drugs in the magwell. All right, well, that's cool. Thanks for the heads up on that one. It's a gun shop in Washington State, and it looks like they got a website. And anybody know where Covington, Washington is?
No.
Is it on the east coast of America?
It looks like it's by Seattle, right outside of Seattle.
Well, that makes sense because Chris is out there in the comments and says the funny thing is there's a weed shop next door to it.
Oh, that's totally right. Probably why.
So that's on the west coast then.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that'd be right underneath BC, you know, that crazy province.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bunch of hippies.
Canadians go down there and look at guns, but who knows?
Yeah. Well, a bunch of hippies live in BC too.
Well, it's one of those consequences of gun control that they refuse to acknowledge, that when you infringe on ability to recreationally shoot firearms, that means that there's fewer ranges that have just rentals and recreational opportunities, but the more ranges there are with recreational opportunities, you get the potential for international tourism. Look at Vegas. How many people fly to Vegas from other countries for either, specifically for, or all, just as a side thing, but they'll go there and shoot machine guns because they can, because of our freedoms. So yeah, imagine if Seattle, well, I guess they have pretty decent gun laws, but they could put some rental places there, and all those Canadians could come down and spend their money in this country.
Yeah, enjoy some freedom.
Eat and drink and buy gas and whatever. Do Canadians buy cigarettes here, or do we buy cigarettes there? I think they buy their cigarettes here, right? They're cheaper.
Oh, we buy them. Yeah, your cigarettes are $5 a pack. Ours are 15 a pack.
Yeah, so maybe
I don't know what cigarettes you're seeing. Well, the generic packs, maybe.
Yeah, I buy the cheapest ones I can.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm grabbing a couple of these other sporting goods shops, and we'll add them to the list. So thanks for that. And I guess what do we want to do next?
I don't know. We could do the gun of the day.
That doesn't work because I'm still copying and pasting. So why don't we do the training topic? How many rounds a month does it take to stay proficient? I've been thinking about it. I'm going to say 50. What do you say?
Are we just speaking carry gun?
Oh, that's
or like how many rounds at a range? Like are you talking about your rifle, home defense gun, whatever? I don't know.
That's a good point. So I'm going to say 50 per gun that you want to stay perfect.
I could agree with that. I could definitely agree with that because I would say 50 to 100 for your self-defense. So I could agree with that.
Actually, I'm not going to disagree with that. I'm going to agree with it too. So
there you go. You're welcome. So one of the Travis Collective is saying 42 is the answer to everything. I could be talked into 42, although then you got 8 rounds laying around. So
yeah, that would annoy me. I guess you could just throw them in a box and let them, join the collection.
It, right? If you're carrying a 45, that's your loadout. So practice with 42, and you still got 8. I guess you would have whatever's in your gun when you're carrying it too. So yeah. Well, unless you're not going to. I don't know.
Well, I guess if it's one of them old-timey 45s, the single stack, but
who'd want any other kind? That's like butchering God's design. You want to just add a third arm to your chest just because surgeons say they can do it now? Of course not.
Second brain just because it's possible.
Yeah, I would have a third arm and a second brain though, so I mean I would be sort of superhuman.
You don't screw with perfection.
Yeah. If you had 2 brains, could one of them sleep once in a while, and then that way your body would never have to? You're
constantly working.
Tag team sleep.
Yeah, but your body would then wear out, so you'd have to have like.
Where you become super strong because you never.
If you had 4 legs and 4 arms and 2 brains and 2 heads, then one set could sleep while the other set did the work.
Where do you put your junk with 4 legs, and where do you poop out of? So that
well, the same place you do normally. And just think, the deodorant companies that sell twice as much deodorant, toilet paper. Well, no, it'd be the same. You just have 4 legs, right? You wouldn't have extra orifices, except for your mouth.
And your stomach is going to be. I mean, would you have 4 sets of stomachs also, or do you just have one stomach fueling all of those appendages?
Because if you had 2 mouths going down to one stomach, you'd get really fat because you.
Where'd you get 2 mouths? Oh, you got 2 whole heads.
2 heads,
whole heads, yeah.
I don't want 2 heads.
You could put one brain on top of the other, I guess.
Just look like
head.
how the Egyptians had them big long heads. Have like an extra brain up in there, like behind you.
But you could just
A
do
brain
like
in your head and a brain in your chest, kind of like, you know.
well, you could do a C-47, not C-47, C-97 type fuselage where you got double lobes, right? You got a lobe up on the top and then another lobe on the bottom with your face in it. So you just have kind of like a, pop up top or kind of
All right.
raised top on your skull.
Yeah.
Bob's already now. If you follow with what Bob's suggesting, there's going to be a bunch of windows in your second cranium, and that just doesn't make sense. So I think we have to take it back. This is what happens when it's at like 1 a.m. This kind of stuff didn't happen when we were doing this at noon.
Apparently.
Yeah. And I mean, obviously, if you had two brains, you can evolve to not have to eat anyway. So stomach is obsolete.
No, I don't think so. You'd always have to eat.
Yeah. There's chocolate, dude. What are you going to just look at chocolate all the time?
Well, there is another way you can eat, but it'd be really uncomfortable for most people.
All right.
Some
So
people would like it.
Moving on.
yeah. So I think we already solved the amount of ammo you need, and we do have some suggestions for new gun shops of the day. So that worked out pretty good. Now we can go to this gun of the day. Must be something special because it's not a Nazi gun or some goofy gun. It's a normal gun.
No, it's the M1 Garand. And I think I was just thinking of Audie Murphy today, and I thought, yeah, that's the gun, right? Because he carried this in World War II. And you got to really, like, Audie Murphy was 5'2", and he carried this gun all through Europe, and he loved it. He loved his Garand. Was apparently quite a good shot with it. So, yeah, I think it's definitely a cool gun for gun of the day. And I think it is truly one of the better guns that was produced in World War II. So, yeah.
What do you think?
Somebody butchered one.
What do you think of this?
I think somebody should be tarred and feathered.
Treason.
Yeah. No, truly, that's tar and feathering, right? And I mean hot tar, not cold tar. Not just like the stuff out of the caulking tubes. No. I want the stuff that's heated up. And then chicken feathers, not nice goose feathers. Chicken ones, they're really prickly. And then ride them on a pole out of town. Because that's just blasphemy. But yeah, it's just a wonderful weapon. Beautifully designed, super functional, worked really well all the way through World War II, through Korea. Yeah, it's just
Would you get the plain old M1 for $89?
Yeah.
Or you get this late manufacturer, all proof tested, brand new for $109?
Yeah, carbine. That's a carbine.
Oh yeah. Would you get the carbine for $109 or would you get the full size one for $89?
I would get the full size one.
Jimmy?
My bad. Full size.
See if anybody gets the correct answer out here. The correct answer is both of them. It's $200. Are you crazy? Come on. Yeah,
Well, I'm thinking I got to choose between
my
one.
money. Penny saved, penny earned.
No, I would get the full size and then get the M1 30 cal carbine for $69.
You got to get ammo after you get the gun, you know.
So all three.
Yeah, okay. At those prices, I'd get all three these days.
Wonder if there's any way to know what year that ad was.
Although I don't think that's a real tanker. That's a later manufactured tanker.
Okay, 1960s. So see how much $69 was back then.
It's like $1,000.
$566. So 69 bucks. This one was 566 bucks, and the more expensive one there was 109. 895. So 895 for this tanker grand, which is what Z has, right? Or was it 99? $812 for this one. It's really about what they cost now.
Yeah, it's actually pretty close.
Yeah, about the same.
No, I've seen M1 carbines for cheaper.
Although you could have bought it for the money back then and shot the shit out of it and sold it for the exact same money. If you would have bought it and stuck it in a safe back then, that's worth a lot more than $800 right now.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Or whatever this thing says, 812, significantly more. Add a thousand almost to that at this point. If you had a brand new 30-06 you just set aside, brand new special. Yep. Yeah. I don't know about special wood. Who knows what that meant back in 1960?
No, just probably selected.
Oh, well, here's one for only 77, so.
Yeah. And look at the wood on it.
$1. Oh, that's fake, yeah. Pumps out bullets as fast as you can pull the trigger. New, commercially manufactured. Receivers are precision welded. So, yeah, this is fake. Fake grand.
Yeah. Still be worth, a good price today.
Yeah, I'd take it. All right, well, that's our gun of the day.
There you go.
You're welcome. All righty, so we talked about a gun shop. We talked about training.
See what tomorrow says. Is it getting cold in here?
It is super cold. It's going to be 30 degrees tonight. Thanks for saying something. I'm going to run water through.
It's going to be 30 degrees. Well, it's going to be minus 20 here. What the hell happened there?
I think Jimmy
was a short player.
Is this a lawnmower?
I think it's kind of sounded like it went to fire and fell forward and drove the barrel into the ground.
He's shooting.
I didn't fill my clip up all the way, guys. Sorry. But everybody knows what that sound means. It's time to crack them knuckles, whip out them keyboards, and get ready for the daily tactical pop quiz. Today is Guess That Gun Lyric. Go ahead.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, we're getting crazy now. So guess that gun lyric. I don't know if Bob wants to read this, but if you're uncomfortable, I'll have to go ahead and do it.
Bob should read it.
I'll read it.
All right. So pay attention, everybody. Bob's going to read it, and you're going to answer it.
So we're taking answers from Instagram, who have not seen the answer, and gun channels and YouTube, right?
I'm on YouTube right now.
Okay.
All right, ready, guys? Classical reading of this classical piece of music. As I grab my Glock, put it to your headpiece. One in the chamber. The safety is off release. Straight to your dome, Holmes. I want to see cabbage.
Nothing on the YouTube side.
Nothing. One mag a week is potatoes. Oh, I never heard of that artist. Uh-oh. I think we have a winner already.
Oh.
Yep.
Yep.
Oh, wait. Hold on. We can't have a winner. I haven't even done this yet.
For everyone.
Nobody's saying nothing on Instagram. Nope. We don't have a winner. We have a winner. Clovertac, gun channel side.
Oh, shoot. Where's Smiggy? Oh, dang it. Well, Clovertac, you know what that makes me? That makes you the tactical hot shot of the day.
Congrats, Clover.
Congratulations, man. That was a good one.
Yeah, I told you I'd find another song that had a Glock with a safety on it.
Yeah, I'm surprised because I don't know if I've ever heard that song, so I'm not sure if I did it justice, but yeah. I
It
tried to use
sounded like
spoken word.
it sounded like Biggie was here. I was like, I didn't
Yeah.
know we had Biggie as a host.
Yeah, your flow was epic. I don't know why you didn't get into the Canadian hip hop scene.
I don't think there's ever been one, has there?
I don't know. I don't know what the French are up to. I don't know.
Okay, Potatoes is saying 1 mag a week was his suggestion on how to stay proficient. Do you think you can stay proficient with just a mag?
15 rounds, man. Like, well, 15 plus one. I don't.
If you were to do it 1 mag a week, I mean, is it staying proficient on physically making sure your finger moves, or is it?
Well, yeah, I mean, 1 mag a week, that's going to equal out to about 60 rounds in a month. So, I mean,
can you do
yeah.
it like a dot drill spread out over a month? Like, and still, I guess if you're hitting it every month, it doesn't matter if it's all at once or spread out. You're going to hit
Or
it.
run a different drill every week, like you're saying. Yeah, I could see that. And if you're at a point where you're smoking them every time and you're just running through a mag, maybe 2 mag. I don't. Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I'm thinking that might be right because you got to look at one of the greatest gunmen who actually made the longest range gunfight shot with a handgun. Wild Bill Hickok. Every morning he would go out and discharge his pistols into the backyard at a fence or spot in the tree or whatever. And he did that every day. 2 pistols, 232 Colt Navies. Every morning. Now, of course, he also did that in order to reload them so they'd be fresh loads. But yeah, he was pretty good. Probably one of the best.
Shoot cartridges, right? He shot powder.
He shot black powder. He did not trust cartridges.
So there's something for needing to do that with a cartridge gun if you don't know if you're going to need it at 3 a.m. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I mean, because he fired them every morning, he was pretty sure that there was no problems with his guns or his loads or what he was doing because he fired them every morning. I'm sure if he had a problem, he was going, "Oh, what's wrong with there? Is there a problem with the nipple or something?"
Yeah, who's washing dishes or taking a shower or whatever? And exactly, you want to make sure there's nothing wrong with that gun that can definitely have lots of things wrong with it.
Yeah. So yeah, that was and very smart. And like I say, he was one of the better shots in the West.
Yeah, so he's saying 15, so he's not thinking like Jimmy 7-round magazine. He's thinking 15 a week. That's 30 every 2 weeks, so that's 60 a month.
That's what I just said. 60, about 60 a month.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's damn I have no disagreement with that. I think that's actually a good idea. At first I was thinking, 1 mag, but then I realized, those are real
It's like
mags,
a week.
not the kind I have. Yeah. And that's once a week, or once a day. Was he saying once a day? Yeah, once a day.
Oh, a week.
Oh no, I do it once a day. Yeah, once a day. If you're just going to shoot 1 mag, once a day.
Holy crap.
Work for Hickok, it'll work for everybody else.
You have to be rich to shoot 1 mag a day. All right, so I think we've come full circle. We usually try to hit a bunch of different things on a daily basis, and one of those is gun history. I looked through our little calendar cheat sheet and didn't see anything all that interesting, but there's a pretty significant thing that happened today. But I feel like maybe we should think about releasing this information. I'm going to go ahead and leave a link here to both the gun channels and the YouTube side, but I want to put out a warning because there's a little bit of lag. Before you click on that link, if you're tender, if you're soft-hearted, you're not if you're not used to the kind of abuse, especially this late in the evening, you're not going to be ready for it. You might not want to look at it. But unfortunately, today is the anniversary that George Luger died, the inventor of the stupid 9mm cartridge. So I know it's going to be a day that's going to be difficult for a lot of people out there. You're going to need some time. Very soft people. So this is going to be kind of news that's going to be difficult for them. So we want to be compassionate to those people and do the service. Let them know that it's today. But again, give it to them in the softest way possible.
Try not to giggle.
74 viewers over on Instagram. So thanks for the people that were watching over there. We shut that off.
Yep.
That means we're right about an hour. So see, look at that. That helps us time it to make sure that it's right around an hour, because Instagram won't post for an hour because it's a weak platform. It is true. Pants is letting us know that 9mm did lose World War II. It's a good point. I don't bring that up enough. I'm gonna have to remember to bring that up more often.
Pretty much every other army but the U.S. and then the U.S. even used 9mm. So,
Well, today's the day that the guy that invented it passed away back in 1923, 1849 to 1923. So he also invented the Luger pistol, of course. We're talking about George Luger. So 1849, and he was born in Germany or whatever, probably, right? Austria or something. They weren't really having the cowboy days, but for us, that was like the westward expansion, right? Cowboy days. Civil War.
yeah, they hadn't had cowboy days since there were Huns and like I mean.
No, I don't mean them, but I'm just trying to put it in perspective what was going on in 1849. Then he went through the turn of the century and then to 1923. So, I mean, my grandpa could have met George Luger.
Oh, yeah.
So, I don't remember when Stupid Bullet was invented, probably World War I, somewhere around whenever the Nazis started up. But,
a little bit before that, but yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of neat because I would, you think of something like that as being around forever, and it's really only a generation ago, or I guess 3 generations ago.
Yeah, well, 100 years.
So anyway, we like to talk about gun-related history, and that's an unfortunate one. But sometimes, I guess in March, we'll talk about when he was born. But you can check that out on guncalendars.com, where we have a lot of gun-related info. And if you know about something that we don't have in the calendar, please let us know. You can email us at dailygunshow@gmail.com. Always interested in adding stuff to that calendar. Consider it a collaborative effort using this new media. All right. Yep. Sad millimeter. Mini millimeter. I like that. That's what they should be calling it. 9mm. Mini.
And this is the guy who loves the 32. Okay.
I didn't love the 32. When have I ever said I love the 32?
Because of John Browning invented it. You used to talk about it all the time. Oh, it's such a great round.
I like the 25 way more than the 32. I hardly even mentioned it.
25, whatever. Same thing, except one's a little bit bigger.
Yeah, 25 is way small.
Yeah. Anyway, so are we done? Yeah, we should be done. We should finish this up and keep it in an hour.
What did I say about the 9mm people being soft? And it's going to be a difficult day for them. So let's
please. I don't really care that Luger died. I really didn't like Lugers that much. I thought it'd be cool to shoot one, but other than that, I mean, who cares?
So let's see. Today being Thursday means tomorrow, or actually today is Friday. That means that early watch will be coming up in the morning. Then you've got days worth of daily lobby to hang out in. And then you start to get the evening stuff on Fridays. Is it Edge first? No. Budget Guns does one first, I think. And then Edge, and then Clover. Or is it Clover then Edge? It's Clover then Edge tomorrow. So yeah, check out Gun Channels on the schedule and just ask in the lobby. Hopefully people will get in the habit of posting their live stuff on the front page again. But people don't post their stuff on the front page and then nobody shows up on their Gun Channels channel. Amazing. So yeah, remember that not everybody knows your schedule when you're going live. Take a moment when you're posting on Gun Channels to post it on that main page too. Then anybody who joined, logs in or opens the site is going to see that reminder and head over and check out your show.
Yeah.
Right on. I guess we should probably mention again that our friend Dead Horse has a pillow going on over at the eBay. All those proceeds go to Gun Channels. We can definitely use the scratch. And I got a link here to that auction. I'll drop it in the comments on both sides. Of course, we have gearwebsites.com is the store that is supposed to generate the money to keep our projects going. So we appreciate everybody that keeps these projects, including the Daily Show, Gun Channels, the videos that are going out, the other things we do online, people that keep all that stuff going via the Patreon and the other in the store.
All right. So on that note, to steal one of NEA's lines, Let's end this with our quote. We always do. This one's by George S. Patton. I'm on a bit of a general or military kick this week. But anyway, before the quote, I'd just like to remind everybody, please like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Support us on Patreon if you feel so inclined. So, George S. Patton. The object of war is not to die for your country, but to make the other bastard die for his. On those meaningful words. Thanks, everybody, for watching and listening. We'll see you all tomorrow. And somebody's going to do the outro.
Guys and gals of gunwebsites.com encourage you to take a CCW class every year, practice at least once a month, and carry every day. Thanks for watching gunwebsites.com. I got techniques tripping out my butt cheeks. Sleep on my stomach so I don't fuck up my sheets. My shit is deep, deeper than my brain, G. I'm ready to die and nobody can save me. Fuck the